That's
All right, guys, I'm going to show you two ways that you can use the links for tracking to send a text message when somebody clicks a link inside of an email. So there's two ways that you can do this. I'm going to show you the easy way first, and then I'll show you the more advanced way. But for example, I use this KissRx announcement workflow. And inside of this workflow, I created some emails, some wait times. Notice how I don't have any text messages because a lot of times you don't want to send text messages to a large list unless they're super active or super warm. Otherwise, it just burns your phone number. And you definitely don't want to go through A2P compliance, and you don't want to be making phone calls or sending text messages to really hot prospects. And it's just going to spam, right? Or getting blocked by the carrier because you destroyed your reputation. So, this is what I recommend doing. You create an email sequence, and inside of that email sequence, make sure that there is a single link to do some type of call to action, right? For example, reserve your spot. This isn't a direct like purchase now, buy now, do something like that. It's more of just learn more. So that way, when people click on this link, right, it's simply just going to take them over to my website and they're ready to like look at things, right? And then there's calls to action and all kinds of stuff on this particular website to get it done. But that will tell me, right? The reason why I did it that way is the email is super simple, clean. People can look at it, they can read it. So if they open it and then they click on this link inside of the workflow itself, you can easily, you can track the links, right? How many times they get clicked on. We do UTM tracking. That's more of an advanced thing. But the big thing here is add tag, right? So when you turn that on, what we've got is when contact clicked on link and it puts the link in there, right? It adds this tag, KissRx link clicked. Okay. So every time somebody clicks on that, they get added here. Okay. Now, here's the second part of what you got to do. One workflow to send out all the emails, make sure all the emails. Again, you can have different tags and links and different things like that if you want to really get it sexified. Maybe this is email one tag or email two tag, email one tag, two tag, three tag. And then each one of those tags has a different text message that goes out when they get clicked on. But for ours, we just put one simple one in there, right? So we send this out to a larger list. And out of that list, if somebody clicks on it and tag is added, because if they click on the link, we have another workflow that says KissRx link clicked. Pretty simple naming convention. If they click it, then we send them a text message. Now, some advanced stuff on here. We just did a text message because we're pretty low pressure, right? So we just send them a text message just to start the conversation. But you could technically maybe add a task for your salesperson to call them. Yeah, that way they're ready to rock and roll. Maybe if somebody clicks on the link, you not only send them a text message, but maybe we send a notification to your setter to try to follow up with them, right? And there's all kinds of stuff you can do after that trigger is done. But the objective here is that people, if they get an email, they open it, right? Then they actually click on a call to action. That person, more than likely, you can use your text message on because they probably want to talk to you or they at least have an idea of what's going on, right? So that's one way. The other way that you can do this, and this is if you want to track the links a little bit better. So, for example, here's some trigger links that we have set up. So, under marketing, trigger links, I can create some trigger links. We don't use trigger links a whole lot, but you can create a trigger link. And what that does is you can create a link inside of a link, right? So if somebody uses this one and you can copy that link, and instead of using this, you could just make this link the trigger link, right? That way it's tracked and you can fire stuff off from there. And instead of creating a tag added to trigger this workflow, you simply do trigger link clicked, right? Add, you got to pick the link that you want, right? It names it, but you pick the link, right? That's in there and you hit save trigger and then you add your SMS from there. But again, either way, I personally think unless you're going to do something that's pretty static, like if it's for marketing or something like that, I'm really doing it this way because it's super easy to set up. If it's something for like contracts or onboarding flows, when we set that up for people, we use trigger links for quite a few things. That way we can constantly remind them. And if it does get clicked or it gets completed, then we can stop the automations. But again, guys, this is the simple way, right? Just build the emails, add the tag. When the tag's added, shoot them a text message, right? Or you can use trigger links, which is a pretty advanced way of tracking things. But if you guys have any questions on that, feel free to reach out. Thanks, guys.
That's